What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a Game 7 edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks NBA. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. What a wild ride this series has been. We are 0.1 seconds away from the Miami Heat being in the NBA Finals, but alas, the shot got off. Derek White. I ended up having to pull over, finding a brewery as I was driving back home. I was in South Dakota there for a week or so, and came back, had to find that fourth quarter, and boy, am I happy I did. Can I say words? It was really exciting, if you couldn't tell. My dog was barking and everybody clapping. It was fantastic stuff, but yeah, I was just happy to get my +3 Miami ticket across the window. That was nice. Those are the things that matter most in life, getting you guys money. And hey, I've done 5 of these videos. I missed one because of a weekend. I've swept 3 of the 5 from this series for you. However, because I decided to be some arrogant little kid and throw out all my series bets in game 1, it looks a little bit worse when you're like 4 games. Well, it's 7 games. It's been an extremely interesting subplot with no team ever. 149 teams are coming back from down 3-0. The Celtics, massive favorites to go do it for the first time. I'm going to talk you through my lean, like, and lock for this massive Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals. But first, check out BetMGM, my friends. You're going to get 2 free months of Odd Chopper Discord access. You're going to get my premium betting card for this NBA game. You're going to get it for the MLB streets, where 9-2 on Sunday. On Friday, 13-2 on my video. Only 9-1 on the actual plays I put together. Only 9-1, but it is what it is, baby. Fantastic profit. We're finally hitting our stride in the MLB streets here on Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Check that out every single Monday through Friday here during the weekday on the Odd Chopper channel. But get those 2 free months of Discord access, and it's not just myself. My dude Ben Rossa just hit 100-1 Emiliano Grillo futures over in the PGA streets at the Charles Schwab here on Sunday. Love seeing that from one of the best dudes in the industry, sharpest dudes in the industry. He is part of that Odd Chopper Discord access. You want to be checking that out for him. For my dude Eitan Shander, who hits 1 million parlays a day, it seems like, just an absolute monster in that regard. Check out his 5-5 here at Odd Chopper. So many great guys, so little time. So jump into the premium Discord by getting those 2 free months, but also you're going to get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first wager loses. So again, if you bet $100, you win $100, $200. There you go. Done. Call it a day. But BetMGM, up to $1,000 will refund your losing bet. Your first bet that you make is a losing bet. Up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Probably could have explained that a little bit better, but that's what happens here when it gets thrown into the introduction. I love BetMGM, one of the best sports books for over total basis props. For some of these K props, it's been showing up. BetMGM, we're talking odd shopping, finding the best line every single day for your props and for your bets. And that, my friends, makes BetMGM an awesome spot to check out. It's only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, did all my intro stuff here for you at the beginning. I've got one thing that we're going to throw in between the like and the lock. Producer Alicia knows what I'm getting at, but I've dilly-dallied enough here, but I'm pretty excited. Let's talk through the ins and outs and get to the lean, like, lock for Game 7. Roll the tape, Alicia. There are good decisions you make in life, and there are bad decisions you make in life. Good decision: Eric pulling over to the side of the road in a respectful manner, not pulling his phone up to watch the fourth quarter of the game, watching the insane stuff, getting home, rewatching it because you need to see the entire game. All of these are really good decisions. Bad decisions: Jimmy Butler closing out Game 3 on Al Horford. Oh, baby. And it's not like Al Horford's the guy who got torched and the whole thing. It's not like he got set on fire and It's Al Horford, bro. Like, points props like 7.5 every single game is what it is. I'm just saying that he didn't want to be giving Boston any fuel when you know they are a capable basketball team that can rattle off 4 wins in a row. And this is the way that I think about this series. Before we get to the numbers of it, before we get to the plays. If Boston won 4 games in a row during a regular season, you wouldn't bat an eye. You just wouldn't. But because it's the playoffs, because of the heightened intensity, because of the publicity around it, because playoffs are the things that we care about as cities and as fans of teams and as everything else, this is one of the coolest Game 7s that you will probably ever witness in your NBA life. Oh, and 149 teams were down 3-0. Now, it's ironic. The biggest 3-0 comeback for me in my lifetime has to be 2004 when you go back to the curse of the Bambino, the Boston Red Sox rattling off 4 in a row against the Yankees in an eerily similar ALCS type setting. Now, am I a fan of either of those teams? God, no. But go Twins. 91, 87, those were great years. By the way, fun fact, I've been to 2 World Series. I was 1 month old and I was 4 months old, and my parents were not going to miss either of them. But that's a fun fact that you know about me. Probably why I'm so loud. It's a loud stadium there in the Metrodome. Headphones on a baby. That was like not even heard of back then. I should probably work on controlling the volume of my voice. But either way, Boston, it's going to be a ruckus. It's going to be wild. And now we lead ourselves into Game 7. I think this game demanded a little bit of a prequel. A better prequel than like The Hobbit. Whatever this TV show I'm watching on Amazon is. Why are they doing this? Rings of Power. Get out of here. But let's talk the Boston Celtics pride here, baby. They are 7.5-point favorites. That seems to be the prevailing number. We've got 203.5 for the total. I have no play on the total, although I would be leaning on the over of that one. I've got it right around 205. Not going to be a bet because, again, you got to be winning at a certain clip. Minus 110, we're not going to be doing that. But I bet Miami +3 last time around. It was very, very nice to at least get that ticket across the window, even though heartbreaking fashion for all Heat fan, all 12 of you who stuck around post LeBron James. It is what it is. I'm thinking about Miami +7.5 here. I don't know how I get away from just taking the dog in this kind of a competitive series. How many games they've played. Miami has won 2 games outright against Boston, and I bring this number up a couple of times, or I brought it up a couple of times on this series. Boston, over the course of the season, in the playoffs and regular season, are 13-10 on the money line, win double-digit favorites. That is insane. They basically play to the level of their competition from time to time, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. And, well, you just saw Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo play about the worst basketball games you could ever imagine. Did Jimmy Butler salvage by knocking down the 3 free throws? Did it look very good at the end of that game as he was starting to be more assertive, started to play a little bit more like the Jimmy Butler we had seen in previous series? Absolutely. 47 minutes, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. But 5 for 21 from the field. Bam Adebayo, 4 for 16 from the field. I mean, without Caleb Martin, that game got out of hand. Without Duncan Robinson in that fourth quarter, I basically just showed up and watched the Michigan Wolverine show with that dude. My God. From buckets on buckets, the most insanely paid 20-minute off-a-bench guy you could possibly imagine. Hey, undrafted, get that money, honey. It's good stuff. But Miami +7.5. It projects out okay for me. It's right on the fringe. I could see this being 6.5, 6, and I would be staying away entirely. But I'm at least thinking about the Miami +7.5. Don't want this one attached to my record unless it ends up on the card, that's for sure. Because, well, it's a gut punch to have what Derek White did to you. Also, Max Strus. I know that you were playing the Surveyor. Maybe watch the guy who inbounds the basketball, always the most dangerous dude on the floor. I think my dad said that to me since I was like 5. I think every high school basketball coach has said that to every kid since they were 5. Most dangerous, whatever, who cares? Let's talk some sports. Like button though, baby. Now we're starting the bets. This is where I think it's going to get very, very fun. And I want to throw this out there to begin with. Odd Shopper is in love across the board right now, this second, as of recording this on Sunday night, with unders on all of the player props. Pretty much all of the props across the board. Unders tend to be looking pretty darn good. You can sign up for Odd Shopper in the video description box below. I'll at least throw out a couple of them for you. Derek White, under 22.5. I thought about betting that, almost like flash bet that one a little bit here. Now it's moved to 21.5 almost instantly upon pulling that number up. I think it could be looking at 21, 20.5. The big thing being Malcolm Brogdon didn't play in Game 6. I'd be surprised if he played Game 7. Probably a spot where Boston, being massive favorites, 7.5-point favorites, right inside of -300 on the money line, feel as though they're going to just do what they did last time out. throw out a lot of minutes for Derek White, 42 of them. That's got me a little bit scared going towards that one. There's also numbers that I want to be shorting that I'm not entirely positive what I want to do with it. You got Gabe Vincent, looked a lot better than I think we all expected him to in that game 6. I thought about taking some overs on a couple of his props once he was announced starting. Did play 41 minutes, but not going to be the highest usage guy out there, as that's going to, I got to expect Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, they're going to just live and die by him. Not going to say they died in game 6, but you get a little bit more out of either of them, and this series is done. It's just over. We wouldn't be talking about it here. I'd have my Sunday night off, have a cold drink in my hand, but I wouldn't be hanging out with you guys or producer Alicia. So this is way better. Like button. Who do I like then? What does stand out here? There's one over, like literally one over in a sea of unders that I am contemplating from this game. And that is Marcus Smart on the 3-pointers here. 2.5 being the line here. I really think the big change that Boston has had here in this series is just their ability to knock down threes. Now, it fell off a cliff in game 6, but it didn't fall off a cliff for Marcus Smart. And he has been the catalyst the last 3 in these 3 games that they have won in a row. 3 for 9, 4 for 6, 4 for 11, willing shooter, willing participant in the shooting department. Willing participant in the shooting department. There we are. We can say words, Eric. Marcus Smart, over 2.5 threes. Again, has now gone over this one 3 straight. But the big thing, love seeing him attempting 6, 9, and 11 in those 3 of them. You have no Malcolm Brogdon. You know he's going to see the minutes. It's an elimination game for the 4th straight time here for Boston. That is insane to say out loud. Let's go, Marcus Smart. Over 2.5 threes. The only over that I have currently on my card. But again, we got one lovely ad read. But right before we get to our lock, my favorite play, it is Manscaped. Look at that. Oh, the beard trimmer. I'm staring at that one. But the real prize gem is the one on the left, the Lawnmower 4.0, my friends. If you have ever tried to shave your nice things with a razor, if you've ever tried to just not good, it's gone poorly from time to time, okay? And that's not a good feeling, not for you, not for anybody. I don't want to think about it. Getting cringy right now even thinking about it, but kind of cringy like this read. Manscaped, that is definitely what you want to be checking out right now because of that Lawnmower 4.0. Got a great little clip that they have on the top of it that you can definitely prevent anything from getting nicked, but also you could use it directly skin on skin and it does not nick or hurt you. I've never seen a trimmer be this effective. It's got the light. Look at that light that it's got on it too. So you can see everything that you're doing, all the nooks and crannies. Take care of yourself and do it with Manscaped. 20% off, free shipping as well when you use promo code Stochastic. The link is below. Click on that. Go over there. Check out all of the great offerings that they have. They have the performance package. They have, I mean, I don't even know how many different things, whether it's the beard shampoo or the ball deodorant. I don't know which one's my favorite. I have all of them and I use them all because why wouldn't I? It is comfy. It makes me feel bougie and I like the way that it feels. It's delicious. No, it's not delicious. That's really disgusting to say out loud. It is definitely a very hygienic, clean feel that it adds to. Ooh, baby. Salt and pepper's here, and we're in effect. I want you to work a sweat. But if you do, you got the crop preserver to help you with that sweat. So 20% off and free shipping. Use promo code Stochastic. Let's get ourselves to the lock, shall we? Roll the tape. We continue on our merry way. We are at the lock section of the program, and thank you so much to Manscaped. Always a good time to try to figure out what I want to say, how I'm going to say it, but it's true. It's a fantastic product. Enough about my balls, though. Let's talk the lock, shall we? And boys, girls, everybody, friends, family, neighbors, sisters, brothers, happy Memorial Day to you, too. Thank you to our troops. Thank you to everybody who's ever served. Thank you to everybody who has given the sacrifice to allow me to talk about sports betting and be a goofball every single day. It's a joke that I get to do this, and it's because of you, so thank you. But we jump to the lock, and that is where Derek White exists. Derek White played 42 minutes. He played a lot of brilliant basketball, especially that last play of the game. Incredible stuff. But in 42 minutes, did you see him with the ball in his hands very much? Because I sure didn't. It was a lot of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And if it wasn't creating for a little bit of Derek White from here and there, he did go 3 for 7 from 3, salvaged a little bit there, 4 for 10 from the field. Doris Burke on Sirius XM radio was making him sound like he was playing garbage. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, he's only 3 for 7 from the field. And then he makes the play of the century when I get into the bar and be able to watch the end of it. Also, watching a sporting event in Salt Lake City, Utah. What a time to be alive. A lot of proper cheering. A little uncomfortable. Really polite stuff. I want to hear people swearing and upset. Everybody's like, oh, what a crazy good play. Great job, both teams. You tried hard. No. F you, die in a fire. That's what I want to hear. Here's the thing, though. It was a great game, and I think it's going to be another fun one, even though Boston, massive favorites here. Thinking about the Miami plus 7.5, think there's a lot of game scripts available for them, but no matter what, 14.5 is a gigantic number on Derek White. Now, he has gone over this number in 2 games, though game 4 and game 5, game 4 and game 5 it was. Game 6 got up to 42 minutes, and, well, you saw everybody else chucking besides him. He got up to 10 shot attempts still. It's a lot of minutes. If he played 42, 44 again here, and there's no Malcolm Brogdon, it might be a difficult one. But I think there's a lot of game scripts where this one gets out of hand. I think that there's a number of ways that this number comes under. Plus, a lot of sharp books out there on a number sitting at 13.5 that exists in some places. So 14.5, you're giving me the under here. Doesn't really matter any way you slice it up. I think it's going to be a really good under. Currently, the best available number is at Bet Rivers, which I personally do not have access to. So minus 110, just standard juice there. But there are some minus 120s out there, including FanDuel Sportsbook. So fire them up. Derek White under 14.5, my favorite play. Marcus Smart, knock down your shots. Derek White, knock down 0 shots. We can have ourselves a nice little Monday, and then I will see you for the NBA Finals on Thursday. Can't wait. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know what your favorite plays are for this incredible Game 7 that we have coming up ahead of us. I know this is longer than normal than I've had for one of these, for a couple of these one-game breakdowns. But Alicia wanted to hang out. Producer Alicia, thank you for all of your great work, per usual, throughout this entire NBA season. As we go into the NBA Finals, want to give her a special shout-out. Spam it. Producer Alicia, give her some love. Big hearts. Don't be creepy, though. Be really weird. BetMGM, they're awesome. Manscaped's awesome. You can check out that, as well as a lot of other goodies in that video description box below. I'll be back with you for the NBA Finals Game 1 starting up on Thursday. Until then, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Monday for Game 7.